Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for August 2, 2023, the Connected Cars and Privacy Edition. We begin with that story from the Washington Post, as California's privacy regulators' first case is probing connected cars. California's newly empowered privacy regulators announced their first investigation, a probe of data practices of newer generation cars that are often or always connected to the internet. The California Privacy Protection Agency said its enforcement division would review manufacturers' treatment of data collected from vehicles, including locations, smartphone connections, and images. So, connected cars, it's not well known whether any of those companies are following data privacy laws, but we're about to find out. Next up from Reuters, Northwestern University has tapped ex-U.S. Attorney General Loretta Lynch as hazing lawsuits mount. Her law firm will review accountability mechanisms governing Northwestern's athletic programs, and her findings will be made public. Northwestern is now facing at least 8 lawsuits from former players who said they were forced to take part in degrading rituals while on the team. So Northwestern is in deep trouble over these, and it's going to be interesting to see what former Attorney General Lynch finds. Next up from the Financial Times, the world's largest accounting firms are trying to block new rules from the PCAOB that would widen auditors' responsibilities to scrutinize whether a company is complying with laws and regulations, and to communicate those concerns to the company's boards of the records. The proposal comes amid frustration in Washington that audit firms are frankly not living up to their duty to protect investors. Center for Audit Quality, a group representing the Big Four, is asking corporate directors to sign on attacking the plan. Auditors just don't want to have to deal with fraud, apparently. And our final story comes to us from Bloomberg, which reports that the Prime Minister of Singapore will address corruption scandals in Parliament and the ongoing graft investigation regarding the Transportation Minister and the resignations of Parliamentary Speaker and the ruling party lawmaker. The series of scandals is putting Singapore's clean image of governance to test as the PM prepares to pass on the baton of leadership to a new set of leaders. So hopefully we will get some clarity from the PM in Singapore, and he will work very hard to clean up the ongoing mess that has erupted in that country. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.